Welcome to our 25th C# tutorial. Now in this video I might have to divide it up into two separate ones because we're going to be dealing with parse, didn't want that to pop up, parse and TryParse, and this could take a while, it could take a couple of minutes, just really depends on how we go with it. So firstly we want to create a string. I'm going to call this one pin num, and I'm going to set it as 2 3 1 4 and close that off. Now as you can probably tell, this is ideally for either an iPad pin or a bank pin, but the premise still works the same. So we need 4-digit numbers only, like 4 numbers only between 0 to 9, and I'm going to convert this into a integer value. So the way to do this using C# is to use the parse key phrase. So now int dot parse, and now we want to select the value that we're going to pass through. And in fact, if you read this thing here, it says that it'll work with a string, and we'll do pin num and then close it. So here what I'll do is we'll create a bool b equals true, and over here just take a look at b. Now, as you can see, it shows an error. So what we can tell by this little line in here, it says that we can only use strings. Well, we can use strings in this. This is one of the values. So pin num, and then what we want to do is we want to console, really pay some of this, console.writeLine, and then we want to print off pin. And if we run this through, there we go, we've got it printed off. And again, if we wanted, maybe what we should do is we could do a bit of a placeholder thing and just show you how it works. This is a int. Oh, this is the int, and we want to put the placeholder here 0, and this is the string, and 1 pin to be pin num. And now if we run this through, there we go, they're both the same. So that's good for this part. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change just one little thing around. I'm going to put in a dat, and we'll run this program out. We've got an error, an unhandled exception, because we haven't got anything to really put there. Now what I want to do first is I want to do a couple of things. This will pay off a bit later, but we want to copy this line, and originally we want it to be 0, and then we'll change it, and yeah, we still get the same, so just don't worry about that at the moment. So now what we want to do is we want to do int dot TryParse, and then we want pin num, and we want to do pin. Now, as you can see, it's telling us there's an error. We've missed the keyword out. So what we've done here is we're saying we want to try to pass this value, which is a string, into the we want to try to pass this value here into an integer, and we want to put it out in the pin. That's what we're doing there. So what we can do here is we can run, and we still get an error. It's an unhandled exception. And now there is obviously another way that we can do this, which I haven't bothered to do, but what I want to do first is I want to just get rid of this. And now, if we get rid of the dat, it'll run through correctly. But if the second we put something in here like a D and we run it, this is what we get now. Because I made a bit of an error before by keeping this line in. This line was a mistake because I wasn't trying to pass it, I was literally passing it through. So once we got rid of that, if we run the program, okay, so what's happening is line by line, we've created the string, it's pin num is equal to 23 dat14. We can ignore the boolean as it hasn't been used. Then we've created the int pin, and we've set this as a default value of 0. And then from here, we're trying to say int TryParse. We want to put pin num into this integer value, and we want to put it out in the pin variable spot. And so that's been done. And the reason why it hasn't worked is because we've tried this. It has failed to work because we have a string that has letters in, and letters cannot be converted into integers. And that's why we return the value 0, because it goes back, it ignores this line. Well, it doesn't really ignore it, it's just it doesn't have, it had tried to pass the value through, but it realized that it couldn't be passed through. So then it reverts to, so then just leaves it as it is, and it doesn't try to put any new value into the output of pin. So I don't know, that might have been a bit confusing. If it was, send me a message in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.